Hey there, it's Danielle Burnock from DanielleBurnock.com. Love yourself from Survive to Thrive, that lady on the internet who loves you. And today I want to talk about 3 problems with FOMO. Do you know what FOMO is? In case you don't, FOMO is fear of missing out. Everybody feels that sometimes. But this FOMO thing can be a real big problem. So I want to talk about 3 things of why it's a problem. 3 things. 3 problems that come because of FOMO. One thing I learned about FOMO when I discovered these 3 things is FOMO is really a lie. And what this lie does, this fear of missing out, like I'm going to miss out here and I'm going to miss out there and I'm going to miss out here and I'm going to miss out there, The first thing that FOMO does is it creates anxiety. I'm going to miss this, I'm going to miss this, I'm going to miss this, I'm going to miss this. Creates anxiety. We have enough anxiety in our life without inviting it in with FOMO. So the second thing about problem with FOMO is it steals our focus. Because we're going along, doing what we're supposed to be doing. And then, whoops, squirrel. And we laugh about it. And it's good to laugh about it sometimes. But sometimes us laughing about it causes us to let it stay. And that makes way for us to relinquish our focus. Because momentary stealing of our focus, it happens to everybody. There's no way around it. It's part of being human. So the squirrel thing, it can be funny for a minute, but if we let it just go, it will steal our focus off of what we need to be doing with our purpose, of our intentions, the things that we want to do and accomplish. And we find out later we never did what we planned on doing because that focus got so off, we never came back. And FOMO does that. We could be busy doing something and then someone calls us. Oh, do you want to go do this? It's like, oh, you're going to have so much fun and I don't want to miss out on that, but I really got to finish this. And it's like, so that can steal your focus off of what you're doing. Anxiety creates anxiety and steals our focus. And what's the third problem with it is it can cause us to make bad decisions. Like I just said, we could be in the middle of doing something that we need to do, and someone calls us, says, you want to go to dinner, you want to go out and do this or whatever, and it's this great thing to do. There's nothing wrong with that. But it takes our focus off of what we need to do. We get anxiety because, oh my goodness, I'm going to be missing out on all that fun if I kept doing what I'm doing here. And then if we follow the fear instead of our intention, we can make a bad decision. So there's 3 problems FOMO can give us. Creating anxiety, taking our focus away from us, and causing us to make bad decisions. So what do we do about that? What do we do about that? I was thinking about this the other day because I was really seeing how FOMO is a lie. It wants us to believe that we can actually do everything. We really can't, because we can't be everywhere. We can't do everything. We can't know everyone. We can't, participate in everything. That FOMO, those feelings, it generates a lie as if we could do all that, but we can't. We're human beings. I have a affirmation that I give away at my website called Dare to Believe It. It talks about our humanity and how we can't be everywhere. We can't do everything, and that's okay. We have limits. We are limited because we are human, and there's nothing wrong with that. So how does that help? Well, we can look to what do we do with this? Well, God is limitless. He knows everyone. He can be everywhere. He can reveal to us the things that we need to know. And what he was showing me when I was praying about this, going, what am I supposed to do with this? Because I want to do all those things. We do, but we can't. So how do we know what's good? And I got this little thing. I was writing it down because I was journaling about it. I was doing what Dr. Caroline Leaf says in her book, Cleaning Up Your Mental Mess, called Brain Building. There's 5 steps to that, but I'm not going to get off of my focus onto that. But I was doing that, and it led to that I need to stick with God. I need to trust that God is my best interest. I need to accept that I have limitations. And that's something I really struggled with because of the childhood emotional neglect. I couldn't admit that I had strengths or weaknesses because having strengths meant I was arrogant, and having weaknesses meant there was something wrong with me. I had to own that it's okay for me to be a human being with limits. That's okay. Everyone has that. But God is limitless. So if we can partner with him and he can say, well, this would be good for you to do, that not so much, it'd be better if you're doing this. And if we would stick with him and then rest in that, and I wrote those things down, and then I found an acronym. I love acronyms. If you've known me for any time, you know that I love acronyms. And I was able to rearrange that, the trusting and the resting and the accepting my limitations into a word tar. Tar. And you know what tar is? They put tar on the top of buildings, that black sticky stuff. And it smells. And it protects the tops of the roofs. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, wow, I could stick with God like tar. Stick with God like tar, because tar is sticky. And I could stick with God. I could trust him. I could accept that I have limits, and I could rest that he's going to show me what to do. And the thing about the stinky stuff of tar is the Bible says that believers have a good smell to God. And people who don't want anything to do with God, we stink to them. So they kind of went with that. I thought it was kind of funny. So I don't know if you like that part of it or not. But then the other thing is how the tar protects the tops of buildings, and how God will protect us from getting into trouble and from making bad decisions if we'll lean into him, if we'll stick with him. If we'll stick with him, if we'll trust him, accept that, yep, I have limitations and I can't be everywhere, do everything, know everyone, and all that jazz. So the FOMO, I need to let go of that lie. When that rises up and all that anxiety comes in, and it wants me to make this decision and steal my focus, I can grab a hold of whatever it is it's wanting me to do this and go run into God and say, God, is this a good idea? Is this not a good idea? Let me know what's a good idea. And so then we can find a way to tap into what's good for us instead of letting that fear drag us off where we find ourselves in trouble because maybe we made a bad decision and then we're not happy with ourselves. And that creates more fear in decisions going forward, because fear always hurts us. Fear always hurts us. So I'm always looking for a way to get rid of fear, and partnering with God, who is love, is how we can do that, because love drives it out. It's not like poof instant, but we can by partnering with that. It's like when you have a cup, a glass, and it's got like red Kool-Aid in it, and you keep pouring clear water into that, eventually that cup's going to be full of clear water. It's not instant, but it will happen. So if we will open ourselves up to the love that God has for us, he'll drive that fear out of us eventually, if we just keep letting it in. So I want to share that with you because I love you. I want to pour my love into you, so drive that fear out of you so that you will be doing the things that serve you instead of things that distract you, because you matter. Till next time, I love you.